Hello, and welcome to some short pieces about kissing your way to business success. Kissing your way to business success. Sounds exciting, doesn't it? Sounds exciting. And it is exciting. But KISS is that old adage, keep it simple, stupid. Where I'm coming from is after many, many years, both in leadership positions in the military and in the business world, is this sense that we complicate business and we make it almost a mythology, we make it unobtainable, we make it, to use the modern jargon, inaccessible to everybody. And of course, if you think about it, the vast majority of people are involved in business. So business has to be accessible to everybody. So my point is, let's keep it simple, stupid. And there are a number of very, very simple ways of doing this, but the key areas that impact any business, and of course we can go into lots of detail about finances and strategies and tactics, and absolutely, but there are various key elements of every business that underpin that business, and they are all too often ignored or not talked about or misunderstood. So I want to talk to you about what these simple issues are. The first issue is around culture, corporate culture particularly, very, very misunderstood. Culture, the way we do things around here. And this is all part of a virtuous circle, a continuous circle. There is no do that bit, do this bit, do that bit in that discrete way. You have to do them all at the same time. So we're starting with culture. Culture impacts leadership, leadership impacts culture. So I'm going to look at leadership from a fairly basic point of view. There's lots and lots and lots that's been written about leadership, but fundamentally it all says exactly the same thing. And if you understand what 80% of the same thing is, you will be doing far, far better than the majority of other people, the majority of other companies, because you'll have a model in your mind that you can keep on applying, which impacts the culture of the organisation. So linked with leadership is followership and teamwork. Those are obviously components of leadership. Leadership looks after the team. As a follower, you are indeed a leader. And I know semantically that may not make a lot of sense, but it's true. It's about self-leadership and building the team. And how do you get the team to do what you need the team to do? Leadership. We're also going to look at vision, having a vision for the business. And vision, again, is a bit of a challenging word for some people, but I'm using the word vision in it. It's a sense of direction. It's your direction of travel. And it's a very, very discrete point. It's over there. It's in the future. It's aspirational. It's an ambition. But it's something that everything that you do in your business needs to hang off. What is that vision? And then when you're delivering that vision, what are the values? What are the values that matter to you as the business leader or as an individual working in the business, as a contractor, as somebody who is self-employed? What are the values that are important to you, and what are the values that you yourself display? And why is that important? How is that important? And how do you make it work to leverage the effectiveness and the efficiency of you as a person and you as a business? Because your values feed into your corporate culture, and corporate culture, internally culture inside the business, from outside the business, that is your brand. And a bit of a presumption there, but it is by definition, the more powerful your brand is, the stronger your brand is, the more people know what your brand is all about. On the basis of your internal corporate culture, based on the values and the leadership of your business, then the greater the likelihood that you will generate better bottom line returns. And fundamentally, that is what business is all about, whether we like it or not. I am not advocating being a harsh machine that is only focused on delivering the bottom line. I am focused on building a corporate culture that includes everybody, that allows everybody in that business to thrive and to excel at what they're naturally good at. And we as leaders need to understand how to achieve that for our people who are working with us and alongside us. And then that whole culture of actually a great place to work, where people want to come to work, we elicit discretionary effort. We enable people to want to give as much as they possibly can to that business. And that has positive financial returns. So why wouldn't we do that? So that is where the bottom line, and what I am advocating is keep it simple, stupid. Understand the basics, do the basics well, and you will by definition grow your bottom line. So that's the values. As part of what I've just been describing in terms of creating this fantastic workplace, one of the abiding philosophies that we need to understand is emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence? Am I emotionally intelligent? How can I become more emotionally intelligent? Why is being emotionally intelligent important? And then I'm going to introduce you to a very, very simple model. And again, none of what I'm going to talk to you about on the whole is mine. It is out there. It is all out there. So I am giving you the benefit of an accumulation of 40 years of experience. And please, I'm not saying I'm the expert at all. I'm not. And in fact, you can perhaps see through that, because fundamentally what I'm saying is there are lots of experts. There are a lot of incredibly intelligent people, far more intelligent than I am, who understand the square root of a banana. All I'm trying to help you understand is how to peel that banana. Keep it simple. Let's understand the fundamentals, and if you do the fundamentals well, the rest will follow. And by the same sort of argument, it's all very well doing all of this great stuff that's up here, but if you haven't got the basics in place, this counts for absolutely nothing. So you have to have this foundation. You have to have this foundation, this simplicity that everybody understands and everybody buys into. And so the model I'm going to introduce you to is a model for employee engagement. Engagement being how much do your employees enjoy, dare I say, love the work that they're doing, love going to work, love working with these people, love the work that we do, love looking after our customers. And you'd be surprised at the simplicity of these questions. There are only 12 of them. They were created by the Gallup organization. Incredibly, incredibly powerful. So I'm going to give you a structure as to how to evolve this simple business model, and I'm also going to give you the engagement survey, borrowing on what Gallup has done, which allows you to assess how effective you are. And this all creates the idea of the virtuous circle, and I've recorded a separate piece on the virtuous circle. So, kissing your way to business success. Keep it simple, stupid. Hello. So, sorry, since I recorded that last piece, I realised that I left out a little bit at the end of the process that I'm sharing with you. Keeping it simple, stupid. Once we've done all of the other pieces that we've already mentioned, we've done the leadership, we've done the vision, we've done the values, we've done the emotional intelligence, we've done the employee engagement. There are 2 or 3 other tools which I think are useful in helping us introduce this simplicity, understand this simplicity, and therefore deliver this basic foundation that allows us to achieve business success for you and for everybody that works with you. And therefore you are generating your maximum revenue possible from the outstanding service you're providing to your customers. Now, I've recorded a piece on EEP, EEP, which is effectiveness, it's efficiency, and it leads to productivity. If you look at that, it'll tell you a lot more about it, but it is here because the whole cultural piece really is around creating this environment within which your employees can work effectively and efficiently, where they want to work, where they're engaged, where they're enjoying working. And if you think about either the processes or the way that you do your business, looking at how efficient everything you are doing is and how effective everything you are doing is will lead to an upturn in productivity. So it's intimately linked to the cultural piece. There's also something I've called the conscience box. This is the only original piece of thinking that I'm introducing into everything that I'm telling you about. And what I'm advertising it as is a decision-making tool, effectively. So any decision you make, indeed any action you take, I want you to consider the implications and the effect that will have on the people you're working for, the people who will witness the output of that action or that decision, which may be your customers, it may be your suppliers, it could be your partner, it could be your family, it could be anybody. So the conscience box works at a macro scale, so you can apply it to the universe, to the world. Are the decisions that Putin's taking, where do they sit in this conscience box? This assessments of the consciousness of the decision that's been taken or the making. What implication is it going to have for other people? Is it therefore the right decision or the right action to be taking? And so, we can talk about Putin on one level, and we can also talk about is my decision to take a half day this afternoon, what is the impact of that? And really this is just trying to engender in you this thought process where every time you make a decision or take an action, you are ultimately without even having to think about it, aware of the implications of it. But in the first instance, you learn to be aware, to consider the implications, and therefore understand the impact that is going to have on those around you, which, as we've just argued, it absolutely affects the culture of the organisation. So whilst everything that I'm talking about is simple, it's simple because it's basic. It has to be paid a lot of attention, and it can take up quite a lot of time. But the advantage of spending the time doing this in the first place is if you don't do it now, the carnage that can potentially be created further down the line could be far, far worse. And look, it's a bit of a generalisation, but I find it time and time again. How much time do people, and certainly people in management roles, find that actually they're not doing the job they thought they were there to do, but they're actually managing people, managing situations, managing events and occurrences they never anticipated and are not necessarily what they thought where their skills lay. But nevertheless, they are managing people. And the reason they're having to manage people is because people fundamentally and very easily become unhappy with the way they're being asked to work or the things that they're being asked to do. And there are all sorts of considerations and implications and impacts of not looking after your people, which will absolutely impact your culture. So it requires a lot of attention. So whilst everything I'm saying is simple, keep it simple, stupid, it requires quite a lot of attention. So we've got EEP, we've got the conscience box, and then we've also got the virtuous circle. I've mentioned the virtuous circle already, but the virtuous circle is the opposite of a vicious circle, the vicious circle where things spiral out of control and get worse and worse and worse. That is actually quite an easy state to find yourself in, because if you don't pay attention to your organisation, things will start happening, and then all of a sudden your organisation's out of control and it's in this vicious spiral going downwards. The opposite of that is the virtuous circle going upwards, where everything builds upon itself and gets better and better and better. And that is what we're aspiring to. So, we've got our vision. That's trying to paint a picture that allows people to work effectively, efficiently, and therefore productively, and that's a building block of the virtuous circle. What is the leadership like? Is the leadership great when it's building upon the vision, it's manifesting the values, it's done with emotional intelligence, the employees are engaged, then you build this virtuous circle. So that's the final piece in this keep it simple, stupid. And as I think I have already just said, it is simple in the sense that it is fundamental, it is the basics. It does require a lot of attention. None of it is difficult to do, but you do have to take the time to do it. And that's one of the interesting challenges, because we all know that time is always at a premium. We never have enough time. But if you don't take the time to get this foundation in place, then there will be chinks in it, or there'll be crevasses, or there will be hurdles, or there will be something along the way that is going to trip you up. So you must find the time to do this. Especially for a startup organisation, and the benefit of a startup organisation is that it's all up for grabs, it's all there for you to do. But the penalty, of course, is in a startup organisation, depending on your experience, you may not have the insight into what this foundation needs to look like. And so everything I'm talking to you about is to give you that foundation to allow you to build a profitable business where you enjoy working. And you enjoy working there because you're creating this culture, and everybody else enjoys working there. And therefore, for as little input as possible in terms of financial input and as little effort as possible, you're maximising your return. I don't mean little effort because you're not putting lots of effort in there, but you are putting the appropriate amount of effort and you are maximising your return. So, in harsh economic terms, everything we're talking about is about growing the bottom line, but it's about growing the bottom line in an ethical, a sustainable, and an enjoyable way that offers you the ultimate chance to enjoy your work and allow all of those around you to enjoy working as well. The humanization of the workplace. It's very, very simple. In concept. I want to help you build that concept, understand that concept, and deliver that workplace.